This kind of has been going under the radar recently, but DeepSeek's research team has been hosting an event called Open-Source Week. They've released 5 open-source repos sharing the progress they've made on their AI advancements. The 3 most notable tools that they've released were first, the Flat MLA. This is an efficient MLA decoding kernel for Hopper GPUs, and essentially it's a GPU-optimized decoding kernel for faster text generation. Then, they've released DeepEP, which is a communication library for models like V3, as well as their R1 model. Lastly, they released DeepGem, which is a library of efficient matrix multiplications using FPA. So what does this all mean? Well, these tools aim to improve their development of AI products and performance while making them more scalable and efficient. And this all ties to the development of their new Seek Reasoning 2 model, which is their new model tier that is an upgrade from their previous DeepSeek R1 model. Essentially, this Open Source Week is a way to show the world that they have been working on the new DeepSeek reasoning model with these new tools in hand. In fact, there are now reports coming out on a weekly basis of the DeepSeek team working on R2. For the people who do not know, DeepSeek last month came out with the release of their new reasoning model called DeepSeek R1, which triggered a $1 trillion+ sell-off in the global equities market last month. And we saw on this channel how important this model was because it was quite revolutionary. An open-source model being on par with many of these proprietary models. This came with a huge cut-off in price for being a reasoning model that outperformed many of the GPTs, Anthropic's Cloud, 3.5, Sonic, and so many other models. It's a simple Chinese startup that outperformed these huge institutions while being cost-efficient for a reasoning model. Now, Reuters also came out with a report which was showcasing that the DeepSeek team is rushing to launch the R2 model in May. But it looks like we might be getting the model in the next coming weeks. And I'll tell you honestly, this model is going to break the AI space. It's going to be extremely cheap and will likely be on par with OpenAI 0.3 full or 0.3 high, and probably will be outperforming every other model in almost every category. Now, this report is quite official, as the Hangout team, which is the firm that is working on DeepSeek, had a few sources reporting that the model will be releasing early May. But they want it to be out as early as possible. My guess is they might release it after their Qingming festival, which is going to be occurring after the 6th. It could also release mid-April, which is also an expectation that many people have for this new DeepSeek release. The DeepSeek team is also focusing on making sure they produce better coding as well as better reasoning in languages beyond English. This is because the R1 model focused primarily on Chinese as well as English. They want to expand it to more preferred languages like Spanish and make it more accessible throughout the whole world. Now you see this dip over here on January 27th and leading all the way into February? Well, this was fully caused by the release of the DeepSeek R1. Not only did it affect Nvidia stock, but it also affected the overall equities market. It had even affected crypto, which is just insane to me because it had correlated with the SPY at that time and led to a huge dip in almost every equity market. Before we get started, I just want to mention that you should definitely go ahead and subscribe to the World of AI newsletter. I'm constantly posting different newsletters on a weekly basis, so this is where you can easily get up-to-date knowledge about what is happening in the AI space. So definitely go ahead and subscribe as this is completely for free. But why? Well, the R1 was actually built with less powerful Nvidia chips, and it already disrupted the AI space by competing with models developed at far higher costs by the US tech giants. And with this new R2 launch, it could be quite pivotal because it could potentially break the dominance of leading AI firms. It could also show that there are better ways to use different GPUs than just relying on Nvidia's chips. Now, you may wonder what's behind DeepSeek's success. Well, This was because they rapidly innovated, and it stemmed from their heavy investments in computing. This was how they were able to achieve such high performance at a cheap cost. With their parent company, they invested a lot in terms of funding state-of-the-art supercomputing clusters like Firefly. This was something that utilized thousands of Nvidia 800 chips at a lower cost, and it was able to help them develop such great AI systems at a cheap cost. This infrastructure enabled them at large scales, and it was able to cost-efficiently develop different AI computing systems. What's crazy to me is that DeepSeek only needs 4.5 more points on the live benchmark test to be the best model in the world. This is just insane, because imagine what the capability of the DeepSeek R2 will be, and just comparing it with the pricing structure that you would get with DeepSeek R1 versus many of these other models like CLA 3.7, Sonnet with its thinking model, as well as the O3 Mini and so many other thinking models that are out there. They all provide different sorts of pricing structures that don't even compare to what DeepSeek can provide in terms of its reasoning model. Now, this report by Reuters is pretty interesting. They stated that the DeepSeek success was due to HiFlyer, where they spent 1.2 billion yuan for 2 supercomputing AI clusters in 2020 and 2021. And then the second cluster, which was the Firefly 2, was made up of around 10,000 Nvidia 800 chips used for training AI models. This is a pretty important note, because basically what happened was there was a lot of regulatory scrutiny and government support behind China's development for this model. China's securities were initially questioning the need for so many chips. They were asking the DeepSeek team, why are you guys purchasing so many different chips? And ultimately, they explained to them, and they got the green light, which allowed HiFlyer, which is the parent company of DeepSeek, to proceed forward and purchase this many chips. Reuters also emphasized that there are many Western companies saying that they own 50,000 high-end Nvidia chips that are banned for export to China. This is because in 2022, there was an investment that later proved critical when the US banned 800 exports to China. And this is basically saying that they've owned the majority of that stock that was initially banned. But there's also speculation that DeepSeek has created better efficiency in terms of using these GPUs, and obviously, that's with the mixture of experts architecture that activates only when relevant model components are needed, reducing the overall computational cost. They've also used, I believe this was multi-head latent attention, and that was something that they've also worked on to enhance the AI's ability to process multiple aspects of the information that the model uses at once. And this resulted in OpenAI having to reduce their pricing because DeepSeek's pricing was 20 to 40 times cheaper than what OpenAI charged for equivalent models, which is just insane. If you like this video and would love to support the channel, you can consider donating to my channel through the Super Thanks option below, or you can consider joining our private Discord. There, you can access multiple subscriptions to different AI tools for free on a monthly basis, plus daily AI news and exclusive content, plus a lot more. And now, them releasing the open source EP communication library is going to make this process even cheaper than what they've developed currently with the mixture of experts. This means that this DeepSeek R2 might be even cheaper than the original DeepSeek R1. And there's a chance that this is going to be even better than the 03 while being open source, which is going to be insane. This is something that I definitely will be keeping you guys updated on. I'll leave all the links to what I used in today's video in the description below. I definitely recommend that you read this Reuters article because it is pretty interesting, and there are a lot of details that I didn't really mention, so definitely take a look at it. But with that thought, guys, I'm definitely excited for this new DeepSeek R2 model. It's going to be really interesting to see what they end up developing and introducing in terms of the architecture, as well as the pricing and the benchmarks. But with that thought, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow me and subscribe to the newsletter, follow me and join the private Discord. Make sure you take a look at the Twitter page so that you can stay up to date for free with daily AI news. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos because there's a lot of content that you will truly benefit from. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys shortly. Peace out.